Friends, as we gather in this moment of reflection and renewal, let us turn our attention to the gentle yet powerful truth that life continually offers us new seasons of abundance. Retirement is not an ending but a radiant threshold, a doorway through which we step into a chapter shaped not by hurried striving, but by calm assurance. In this season, your investments are not merely financial instruments, they are seeds of faith, symbols of trust in a universe that has never failed to supply your needs in right and perfect ways. When we speak of safe investments, we are not speaking only of markets and numbers, but of harmony, wisdom, and the quiet inner knowing that guides every wise decision. For every choice made in peace carries the vibration of security. Every step taken in confidence aligns you with the prosperous flow that has always been yours. Retirement invites you to release the old belief that security must be earned through strain and to embrace the truth that supply is limitless, unfolding through channels seen and unseen. Your financial well-being in this chapter rests upon spiritual principles as timeless as the rising sun. The principle of clarity, the principle of preparation, the principle of orderly thinking. These are treasures more valuable than gold. As you consider where to place your resources, let serenity be your counselor. Let intuition speak before impulse. Let wisdom take the lead before fear. Safe investments begin with a safe mind, centered in the conviction that you are always provided for. Picture, if you will, your savings as a garden. It is not the frantic gardener who prospers, but the attentive one, the one who selects the right soil, plants with intention, and tends with patience. Low-risk accounts, stable bonds, insured deposits, steady income vehicles, these are the fertile grounds in which your financial seeds may rest and grow. They bring not the wild storms of speculation, but the gentle rains of consistency. And consistency, dear friends, is a quiet miracle. In this sacred season, let no thought of scarcity take root within you. Replace every anxious whisper with a declaration of assurance. Affirm that your resources multiply in perfect ways, that you are guided to wise choices, and that your days unfold in security and peace. The universe delights in supporting the mind that trusts its benevolent order. You stand now in a place of power, not because of age or circumstance, but because clarity has replaced urgency, and understanding has replaced rush. Retirement is not a dimming of the light, it is the settling of the flame into a steady glow. And from that glow arises your ability to choose investments that honor your well-being, your comfort, your joy, and your continued prosperity. To trust in steady, secure financial pathways is to affirm a life guided by order rather than chaos, by calm assurance rather than hurried doubt. It is a recognition that true security begins not in the figures printed on a statement, but in the consciousness that shapes those figures. When you trust in safety, you are placing your hand in the quiet rhythm of divine law, a law that governs all supply with precision and harmony. This trust is not blind. It is illuminated by understanding, nurtured by clarity, and strengthened by the certainty that right outcomes unfold when fear is released and wisdom invited. As retirees step into a new phase of life, this trust becomes not only practical, but deeply spiritual, for it invites a shift from striving to allowing, from controlling to receiving. It reminds you that safety is not the absence of movement, but the presence of stable foundations, steady growth, and choices aligned with peace. To trust in steady, secure pathways requires a surrender of the old belief that financial gain must be fast, unpredictable, or dramatic to be meaningful. Many have lived through seasons where ambition overshadowed balance, where risks were taken not from guidance but from urgency or pressure. Yet retirement ushers in a new rhythm, one that invites decisions grounded in serenity. It is here that steady investments, those that prioritize preservation, reliability, and gradual increase, find their rightful place. These pathways do not promise sudden windfalls. They offer something far more valuable: continued stability, unbroken peace, and the freedom to enjoy life without the constant weight of financial turbulence. When a retiree places their resources in such investments, they affirm the belief that security is earned through consistency, not chaos, through patience, not haste. This trust is strengthened through the cultivation of a peaceful mind. Without inner steadiness, no investment can truly feel safe, regardless of its structure. A turbulent mind creates a turbulent environment, turning even the most reliable pathways into battlegrounds of doubt and second-guessing. But a peaceful mind transforms the entire landscape. It allows you to look at your financial life with clarity, to make decisions without the distortion of fear, and to understand that wealth is not merely money, but the calm with which you can enjoy it. Trusting in steady pathways means trusting yourself, trusting your ability to discern, to listen inwardly, and to make choices that reflect your highest good. This inner trust radiates outward, guiding you toward investments and financial strategies that feel grounded and aligned. Steady pathways also honor the truth that retirement is a time for preservation and fulfillment, rather than unnecessary risk. It is a time for celebrating the harvest, for safeguarding what has been earned, and for directing resources into vehicles that support longevity and peace of mind. Safe investments, such as insured accounts, government-backed bonds, stable dividend-producing assets, or conservative income-generating plans, serve as anchors in this chapter. They provide not only financial returns but emotional returns, for their reliability strengthens confidence. And confidence, once established, becomes a wellspring that nourishes every other area of life. You awaken each day knowing that your foundations are solid, your resources protected, and your future unfolding in a stable, regulated manner. Trusting in these pathways also means honoring the natural flow of energy. Life teaches us that everything moves in cycles, seasons change, tides shift, and economies rise and fall. Yet in every cycle there are constants, principles that remain steady regardless of external fluctuations. When retirees root their financial choices in these constants, they align with the timeless rhythm of balance. They learn to avoid the extremes of fear-driven hoarding and reckless chasing. Instead, they choose the middle path, the path of measured growth, dependable returns, and instruments designed to protect rather than gamble. This alignment with balance is a powerful form of trust, for it acknowledges that your well-being is supported not by dramatic swings, but by the quiet hum of consistency. Trust also requires releasing the noise around you, voices that promote urgency, trends that glorify risk, and the countless prediction that clutter financial conversations. These distractions can lure even the most grounded individual into confusion. But steady, secure pathways are not swayed by trends. They are rooted in principles that have stood the test of time. When you choose these paths, you step away from the noise and into the clarity of simplicity. You recognize that you do not need the newest, flashiest financial product or the promise of extraordinary returns. What you need is reliability, transparency, and alignment with your personal goals. Trust flourishes when you embrace simplicity, for simplicity leaves no room for fear to hide. Trusting in secure pathways also reinforces self-worth. It affirms that you deserve financial safety, that peace is your inheritance, and that your resources should serve you, not stress you. Many enter retirement carrying subconscious beliefs about scarcity or unworthiness, beliefs shaped by earlier struggles or teachings that equated money with worry. But when you choose safety over speculation, you rewrite these internal narratives. You declare that your money is not a battleground but a blessing, not a source of anxiety but a vehicle for comfort and joy. This shift in consciousness is profound, for it draws to you opportunities that resonate with this new belief. As your inner world transforms, your outer financial world aligns to match it. And so, trusting in steady pathways becomes a daily practice. It is practiced through calm decision-making, through educating yourself, through seeking guidance when needed, through refusing to be rushed, and through affirming that you are always guided toward wise choices. It is practiced through gratitude for what you already have, for gratitude multiplies resources in unseen ways. It is practiced through awareness, ensuring that each investment you choose resonates with the inner calm you cultivate. Trust grows. Each time you choose peace over panic, wisdom over impulse, alignment over excitement. Trust expands each time you remind yourself that your resources are protected, that you are guided, and that your financial journey unfolds in safety and right timing. Trust becomes second nature as you witness the steady unfolding of ordered prosperity, the quiet but powerful growth that comes from aligning your financial choices with the truths of stability, clarity, and inner assurance. To let intuition guide every investment choice is to align yourself with a deeper wisdom that moves quietly beneath the surface of ordinary thought. Intuition is the inner voice that speaks without noise, the gentle nudge that precedes logic, the knowing that arrives before explanation. It is not born of fear, nor is it shaped by the shifting winds of the world. It rises from a place of clarity within, a place untouched by market trends, opinions, or pressure. For retirees stepping into a new rhythm of life, intuition becomes a priceless compass. It is the spiritual instrument that ensures every financial decision resonates with peace rather than tension. When intuition leads, confusion dissolves, and every action becomes an expression of harmony rather than a reaction to uncertainty. Allowing intuition to guide you first requires quieting the outer clamor. Modern financial advice often overwhelms with numbers, strategies, charts, and forecasts. Yet intuition does not speak in statistics. It speaks in sensations of calmness or constriction. When something is right for you, it feels spacious, grounded, clear. When something is wrong, even if everyone else praises it, you will feel a subtle resistance, a heaviness, a hesitation, a quiet inner no. To let intuition guide you is to trust these sensations, to honor them as signals from a higher wisdom that sees beyond appearances. Retirement invites you into a stage of life where you no longer need to force or rush decisions. Instead, you are free to listen deeply, allowing choices to arise from a place of alignment. Intuition is strengthened through practice. Every time you pause before making a financial decision, you give your inner wisdom room to speak. This pause is powerful. It is in the space between impulse and action that intuition becomes clear. Some call it a gut feeling, others a sense, others a knowing. Regardless of the name, it exists within you as a trustworthy guide. It will never shout or demand attention. It merely offers guidance that feels right and harmonious. During retirement, when the focus shifts from accumulation to preservation and fulfillment, this intuitive guidance becomes even more essential. It ensures that every investment choice supports your well-being, peace, and long-term stability. To let intuition lead also requires releasing fear. Fear clouds perception, distorts judgment, and creates urgency where none is needed. Fear-based decisions often feel frantic or pressured. Intuition-based decisions feel calm, steady, and natural. When you release the belief that you must act quickly or lose out, you create space for intuition to take the lead. Intuition thrives in stillness, not panic. It thrives in trust, not doubt. As you let go of fear around financial decisions, you become more receptive to the gentle impulses that guide you towards safe, aligned pathways. This shift from fear to faith transforms the entire landscape of your financial life. Intuition also works in harmony with knowledge. It does not reject information. It filters it. You may read, research, or consult advisors, but your intuition ultimately determines which information resonates with your highest good. Two retirees may receive the same advice, yet one may feel drawn to follow it while the other feels hesitation. Intuition honors individuality. It acknowledges that every financial path is unique. What is right for one person may not be right for another. Thus, intuition becomes the judge of alignment, ensuring you do not adopt strategies simply because they are popular, celebrated, or recommended. Instead, you choose what genuinely supports your peace. Letting intuition guide your investments also means trusting that the universe speaks through subtle signs. You may come across an option repeatedly, hear about it unexpectedly, or feel pulled toward exploring it further. These are not coincidences. They are gentle reminders that certain pathways are aligned with your needs. Conversely, when something is not right for you, obstacles may arise, clarity may remain elusive, or the idea may feel unsettling each time you revisit it. These signs, too, are guidance. Intuition does not merely whisper. It organizes experiences, so that you can recognize your path without force or struggle. Retirement is a season that benefits greatly from intuitive decision-making because it is a time of inward focus. The bustling energy of earlier years quiets, allowing you to hear your inner voice more clearly. You have lived, learned, experienced, and grown through countless situations that sharpened your inner guidance. Intuition becomes the distilled wisdom of a lifetime, clear, direct, unburdened by noise. When you trust it, you honor everything you have learned and everything you have become. You acknowledge that wisdom does not only arrive from outside sources, but is already present within you. Letting intuition guide investment choices also reinforces a sense of empowerment. Many retirees feel overwhelmed by financial decisions, believing the subject too complex or confusing. But intuition simplifies what seems complicated. It bypasses over-analysis and connects you directly to the truth that feels correct for you. This feeling is not irrational. It is a form of intelligence that operates beyond logic. It is your spiritual guidance system. When you listen to it, you no longer feel lost or dependent on others for validation. You become confident in your ability to choose wisely because you trust the inner voice that has carried you through many decisions before. Intuition also helps you avoid unnecessary risks. While some investments may promise higher returns, intuition may sense instability or misalignment. It may gently steer you towards safer, more consistent options that support your long-term well-being. This is not limitation, it is protection. Intuition always chooses the path of greatest harmony, not the path of greatest excitement. It understands that in retirement, safety, stability, and peace are far more valuable than speculative gains. Through intuitive guidance, you naturally gravitate toward choices that preserve your resources and provide steady support. To let intuition guide every investment choice is to cultivate a partnership with your inner wisdom. You listen, reflect, feel, and decide from a place of centeredness. You trust the impulses that arise without strain or struggle. You honor the sensations that guide you toward clarity. And in doing so, you align your financial life with the deeper order that governs all things, allowing your decisions to flow from a place of peace, assurance, and inner truth. To replace fear with calm assurance of provision is to step into a higher rhythm of life, one where every worry dissolves into trust and every anxious thought gives way to an inner certainty that you are supported in all ways. Fear is the shadow cast by old beliefs shaped by past struggles, misunderstandings about money, or the notion that supply is limited and must be guarded fiercely. Yet fear has no rightful place in the heart of someone who understands that true provision flows from a boundless source, a source that has carried you through every chapter of life and continues to sustain you now. In retirement, when the pace of life slows and financial concerns can feel more pronounced, the invitation to release fear becomes even more important. To replace fear is not to deny it, but to dissolve it. Dissolve it with truth, with clarity, with the power of knowing that you are never without support. Fear often arises from uncertainty, from the thought that resources may run out or that unexpected needs may appear without warning. These thoughts can create tension in the mind and heaviness in the heart. But calm assurance comes when you recognize that the same intelligence that guides the universe guides your steps as well. This assurance is not wishful thinking. It is a deep spiritual knowing that provision is not dependent upon circumstances, but flows through them. Money, investments, pensions, returns, these are merely channels, not sources. The true source of all supply is infinite and unfailing. When you shift your attention from the channels to the source, fear loses its grip. You become rooted in the understanding that your needs are met in the right way, through the right avenues, at the right time. Replacing fear begins with awareness. Many people carry subtle worries without realizing how deeply they influence their decisions. These worries can manifest as hesitation, indecision, or a tendency to cling tightly to what you have. But calm assurance speaks differently. It says, I am guided, I am supported, I am safe, even before circumstances reflect that truth. This assurance creates a vibrational shift within you. It allows your decisions to be grounded not in panic but in clarity. You begin to find that as your inner world shifts, your outer world responds, Opportunities appear, financial stability strengthens, and solutions arrive without strain. In retirement, fear often disguises itself as overcaution or mistrust of change. You may feel protective of your resources, uncertain about how long they must last, or concerned about unforeseen expenses. While prudence is wise, fear-based caution can restrict the natural flow of provision. Calm assurance, on the other hand, encourages thoughtful decisions made from balance rather than dread. It reminds you that your life is not governed by scarcity but by order. Each day arrives with its own supply, and each decision made in peace attracts more peace. The more you trust, the smoother the path becomes. To replace fear with assurance also means reinterpreting past experiences. Many individuals carry memories of financial struggle, unexpected losses, or instability. These memories often replay in the background, influencing current decisions and feeding anxiety about the future. But calm assurance invites you to see these experiences differently, not as proof of vulnerability, but as evidence of resilience. You came through those moments. You found solutions, support, or strength you didn't know you had. Life continued to provide, even when circumstances seemed uncertain. When you reflect on this truth, fear softens and trust grows. You begin to understand that provision has never truly failed you, even when the channels changed. Calm assurance also comes from cultivating a mindset of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your attention from what might go wrong to what is already right. When you appreciate what you have, your home, your health, your savings, your experiences, you create a powerful inner foundation. Gratitude quiets the mind and opens the heart, allowing reassurance to flow naturally. It reminds you that abundance is not always measured in numbers, but in the peace that accompanies them. When you choose gratitude over worry, you align yourself with a vibration that attracts continued provision. To replace fear with assurance is to develop a spiritual confidence. This confidence does not ignore practical matters. Rather, it complements them. You still plan, invest wisely, and make informed decisions, but you do so from a place of trust rather than insecurity. This confidence becomes your anchor. It steadies you when markets fluctuate, when news headlines stir anxiety, or when uncertainty appears. It reminds you that external conditions do not determine your stability. Your stability comes from your inner conviction that you are never forgotten, never unsupported. Calm assurance encourages you to seek clarity rather than dwell in worst-case scenarios. Fear imagines everything that could go wrong. Assurance imagines the steady unfolding of what is right. Assurance gives you the courage to ask questions, to seek guidance, to make adjustments without panic. It empowers you to trust your intuition, your experience, and the wisdom you have gathered throughout your life. This empowerment strengthens your ability to make secure, aligned decisions regarding your resources. Fear often isolates, creating a sense of aloneness in your financial concerns, but calm assurance reconnects you to the greater flow of life. It reminds you that you are part of an abundant universe, supported by countless visible and invisible forces. You begin to feel accompanied rather than abandoned, guided rather than lost. This shift changes the entire emotional landscape of your financial life. You no longer approach decisions from a place of deficiency, but from a place of sufficiency. You act not because you fear losing, but because you trust in continual replenishment. Replacing fear with calm assurance is not a single moment but a practice. It is practiced each time you choose faith over worry, each time you affirm that supply is present even when uncertainty arises, each time you remind yourself that your needs are met in perfect timing. It is practiced by gently redirecting your thoughts whenever fear tries to settle, by grounding yourself in truth rather than appearances, by choosing inner stillness over outer noise. And with each practice, assurance deepens, grows steadier, and becomes the guiding force behind every financial decision you make. To cultivate consistency rather than speculation is to embrace the gentle, unwavering rhythm that supports a peaceful and prosperous life. Consistency is the quiet heartbeat of stability, the steady pulse that brings order to your financial affairs and serenity to your thoughts. Speculation, on the other hand, is the restless wind that stirs uncertainty, urging sudden leaps and hurried risks. It tempts with promises of quick gains and dramatic outcomes. But beneath its glitter lies unpredictability. In retirement, when the mind seeks calm and the heart longs for dependable ground, consistency becomes not only wise but healing. It shifts your focus from volatility to reliability, from anxious watching to steady trust, from turbulence to harmony. To cultivate consistency, you begin by honoring the power of small, deliberate steps. It is the consistent saver, not the impulsive gambler, who creates a stable foundation. It is the consistent approach to investing, whether through conservative accounts, steady income vehicles, or dependable financial instruments, that ensures your resources grow and sustain you through every season. Consistency does not rush. It does not chase after sudden opportunities that glitter brightly for a moment and fade just as quickly. Instead, it honors the truth that reliable growth, even if modest, builds a structure that can withstand the tests of time. In retirement, this structure becomes a sanctuary, a place where you rest knowing your financial life is guided by order and not by chaos. Consistency aligns with the deeper spiritual principle that true prosperity is not born from frenzy, but from balance. The universe itself operates through consistent laws: sunrise and sunset, tides that ebb and flow, seasons that turn with precision. When you mirror this rhythm by choosing steady financial paths, you align with the universal harmony that sustains all things. Speculation breaks this rhythm. It creates emotional spikes, abrupt changes, and fragile expectations. It binds your peace to external circumstances, making your emotional world rise and fall with every fluctuation. But consistency frees you from this bondage. It grounds you in a steady flow, where peace accompanies each decision, because the path chosen is stable, thoughtful, and aligned with your highest good. To cultivate consistency means recognizing the difference between excitement and guidance. Speculation often masquerades as opportunity, urging you to act quickly before the moment passes. It thrives on urgency, using pressure to override intuition and sound reasoning. But consistency has no urgency. It offers clarity rather than excitement. It supports decisions that feel settled, not rushed, grounded, not anxious. When you choose consistent investments, you choose based on alignment rather than thrill. You create a long-term path that supports your well-being, instead of chasing unpredictable highs. A consistent approach also frees you from the burden of constant monitoring. Speculative investments often require vigilance, watching markets, tracking trends, anticipating shifts. This perpetual attention can create tension, making your peace dependent on numbers and forecasts. But consistency allows you to step back, breathe, and trust the process. Stable investments, long-term plans, and reliable income strategies do not demand minute-to-minute attention. They simply grow, quietly and steadily, while you enjoy your life. This freedom is invaluable in retirement, a time meant for ease rather than concern, for enjoyment rather than stress. Consistency encourages you to build habits that support lasting security. It teaches the value of reviewing your finances regularly but calmly, adjusting your plans thoughtfully, and maintaining steady contributions or distributions. These habits create a sense of continuity. They ensure that your financial life is not driven by reaction but by intention. When you operate with consistency, you become the steady force in your financial journey, guiding your resources with clarity and confidence. Cultivating consistency also means embracing patience. Patience is the companion of steady growth. It trusts that progress unfolds in its own perfect time. Speculation, however, thrives on impatience. It promises rapid outcomes, appealing to the desire for immediate results. But such quick returns often come with hidden costs. Stress, loss, instability, or emotional strain. Patience, on the other hand, brings rewards that endure. It nurtures investments that grow at a gentle pace, ensuring they remain strong and dependable. In retirement, this gentle pace becomes a blessing, offering security without strain. Consistency strengthens your inner world. When your financial decisions are steady and reliable, your mind becomes more peaceful. You no longer ride the emotional roller coaster that speculation creates. Instead, You cultivate an atmosphere of calm certainty within. This inner certainty influences every aspect of your life. It allows you to focus on joy, relationships, health, and fulfillment without the constant distraction of fluctuating financial concerns. The steady path becomes a foundation upon which your well-being rests securely. To cultivate consistency rather than speculation is also to honor the wisdom you have gained over time. Retirement is not a beginning of uncertainty, but a culmination of knowledge, experience, and insight. You have seen enough in life to recognize that true security comes from steady choices, not dramatic gambles. Consistency respects your journey. It acknowledges your desire for peace. It affirms that you deserve stability after years of effort and dedication. Choosing consistency means choosing alignment, clarity, and confidence. It means trusting that slow and steady growth serves you better than unpredictable highs. It means honoring your well-being over temptation. It means building a financial life that mirrors the calm, balanced life you wish to live. And in that choice, you discover that consistency is not limiting. It is liberating, for it frees you from fear, from pressure, from uncertainty, and allows your resources to flourish in harmony with your spirit. To align decisions with clarity, order, and inner peace is to step into a realm where every choice is guided by harmony rather than confusion, where every action arises from a centered mind rather than a scattered one. Clarity is the light that illuminates the path before you, allowing you to see your options without distortion or fear. Order is the structure that supports your decisions, arranging your thoughts and intentions in a way that brings stability and coherence. Inner peace is the calm foundation upon which wise choices rest, a steady presence that guides without force and reassures without effort. Together, these three qualities form a powerful trinity that transforms financial decision-making during retirement into a process of ease, confidence, and alignment. When clarity leads, confusion cannot take root. Many financial concerns arise from lack of clarity, too many options, conflicting advice, or lingering doubts about what steps to take. But clarity simplifies. It removes the unnecessary and highlights the essential. It encourages you to ask the right questions, seek the right guidance, and reflect deeply on what truly matters to your long-term well-being. Clarity does not rush. It waits for understanding to unfold naturally. It invites you to see without fear, to think without pressure, and to discern without being swayed by trends or opinions. When your decisions are shaped by clarity, you move confidently, knowing that each choice is grounded in truth rather than assumption. Order brings structure to this clarity. Just as a garden flourishes when tended with care and organization, your financial life thrives when your decisions follow a thoughtful and consistent structure. Order means having a system, knowing what you own, understanding where your resources are placed, reviewing your plans regularly, and ensuring everything aligns with your needs and values. Order does not restrict your freedom. It enhances it. It removes the chaos. It leads to unnecessary mistakes or emotional decisions. It creates a peaceful environment where everything has a place, where nothing is overlooked, and where each step in your financial journey supports the next. Order transforms your financial plan into a sturdy, reliable foundation. Inner peace ties this alignment together. Without peace, clarity becomes clouded and order becomes rigid. But with peace, both qualities flow effortlessly. Inner peace is the state of calm that allows you to listen to your intuition, to your advisors, to your needs, and to the quiet guidance that emerges from within. Peace creates space for reflection. It reduces the emotional noise that fuels worry or impulsiveness. It reminds you that your decisions are not battles to be won, but opportunities to express trust in the unfolding of your life. When inner peace is your guide, you avoid decisions made from fear or urgency. Instead, you make choices that feel grounded, supported, and aligned with your highest good. To align decisions with clarity, order, and inner peace is also to recognize that your financial life is deeply connected to your emotional and spiritual life. When your mind is chaotic, your decisions mirror that chaos. When your emotions are unsettled, your choices may become reactionary or scattered. But when your thoughts are clear, your environment organized, and your spirit at peace, your decisions become powerful expressions of stability. This alignment creates a ripple effect. Each wise choice reinforces your sense of security, and each moment of security deepens your peace. Retirement is a time when this alignment becomes especially valuable. The transition into this new chapter often brings with it questions, adjustments, and unfamiliar decisions. Aligning your choices with clarity prevents uncertainty from overwhelming you. Aligning with order ensures that the practical aspects of your financial life remain steady and reliable. Aligning with inner peace ensures that you move through this phase with confidence rather than fear. You begin to see that every financial decision is not simply a transaction, but a reflection of your inner state. When your inner world is aligned, your outer world follows in harmony. Clarity encourages you to know your goals, what lifestyle you desire, what level of risk feels comfortable, and what kind of legacy you wish to leave. With clarity, you no longer chase after opportunities that don't suit your needs. You distinguish between what is necessary and what is distracting. You gain the insight needed to navigate choices with a sense of purpose, rather than confusion. This insight makes your decisions more meaningful and more effective. Order ensures that your plans unfold smoothly. You maintain organized records, revisit your decisions periodically, and adjust them thoughtfully based on changing circumstances. Order gives you the confidence that comes from knowing you are prepared. It eliminates the stress that comes from scattered thinking or neglected details. In retirement, this preparation becomes a form of peace in itself. You can enjoy your days without the weight of undone tasks or unresolved concerns, because your financial life is managed with intention and structure. Inner peace allows you to trust the timing of your life. It reminds you that every decision does not need to be made immediately. It gives you the patience to gather information, the calm to listen to your inner guidance, and the confidence to act when the moment feels right. Inner peace removes the tension from your decision-making, transforming it into a process of gentle alignment rather than anxiety. When peace is present, you feel supported, guided, and protected in your choices. Aligning decisions with clarity, order, and inner peace is ultimately an act of self-respect. It affirms that your well-being matters. It affirms that your financial security is worth the care and thoughtfulness you bring to it. It affirms that you deserve to experience calmness rather than confusion, stability rather than chaos, confidence rather than fear. This alignment becomes a way of honoring your journey, your wisdom, and the life you have built. Each decision made from this aligned place strengthens your foundation. Each moment of clarity expands your understanding. Each act of organization brings more ease. Each breath of inner peace deepens your trust. And with each aligned decision, your financial life becomes not only more secure, but more harmonious, reflecting the calm, grounded presence you cultivate within yourself.